Hi, my name is Sarah Becca Vine. I'm absolutely delighted to share my dear friend Sue Cook with you today. Now, I've known Sue for about 6 years now. Is it 6 years? And she's an absolute goddess, absolutely remarkable lady. She is a health scientist, has been for the past 20 years. She's a neurodevelopmentalist. She's helped hundreds of children all around the world with rewiring their brain to help them when they're what is the scale? It's the
spectrum.
On the spectrum.
If they're autistic through dyslexic.
Through to dyslexic. So absolutely amazing work. She's an author of 8 books. The latest one, which is Eat for Your Brain. And Sue is also a channel. She can read past lives. She's just an absolutely amazing person. And I'm very blessed to have her as a very dear friend. She's a member of the Earth Angel Sanctuary, and she's also been in my awesome mastermind group for the past
since we started it,
since about 3 or 4 years ago. So
it's
quite a while now. But Sue's just remarkable, and I really just want to share her story with everyone, because sometimes people can look at us and think, wow, you're a neurodevelopmentalist and all these amazing things, but the truth is we're still normal people. We still have a story. We're still earth angels. We're still highly sensitive. So welcome, Sue, and excited for you to be able to share with everyone a little bit about yourself. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, I've done a lot of interviews and I do a lot of talking on stage about my work. And I think doing this interview with you today, Sarah, has been the most challenging because you're asking me about me and about my journey. It's really, really different. Normally I'm talking about my work and the impact it's had on my kids and the kids around me, but you're asking me about me and my journey.
No, it's like,
so you're saying to
scary,
me, Sue, you've got to open up here.
You have.
Because I've kept that so hidden. I always felt like I was just visiting here and I wasn't hanging around for long enough to have to worry about all this earthly stuff.
I know.
But actually, I've been here for a long time. I'm 50. Would you believe that? And it's like, what? Okay, Sue, get a grip on this.
A bit like sisters, really.
Two little mermaids. And yeah, it's just popping by, but I'm not popping by. I'm actually here having this earthly experience. And how is it for me? What are my challenges? It's just, you're really asking me some personal stuff there. So here we go. Well, if we just talk about Monday. So we talk about Monday.
I think we'll talk about, yeah.
You want to come back to that because that has relevance with the past. So you're thinking, Sue, let's do a timeline. And I'm going, well, I think in some ways it began on Monday.
Absolutely. So on Monday, we masterminded.
It's Wednesday today.
We're 2 days later. And I look at Sue and see the goddess that you are, the old soul, with all these amazing gifts. And Sue's always said to me, well, I used to channel Kutumi 20 odd years ago. I'm like, why are you not channeling that now, Sue? And a big part of that has been literally shutting down so many of the gifts to fit in.
Yeah.
So although you've been sort of pushing through and pioneering in a way with this neurodevelopmentalist, the work that you're doing with children, that you've actually been holding so much of yourself back. So take us back to your younger years, because I know you've always felt, obviously you've had the challenging relationships and families and the black sheep of the family and that kind of thing. But you said you used
the blonde sheep of the family.
The blonde sheep of the family. So you used to channel Kutumi back then. So you were very spiritual and very into that sort of thing back then. So tell us a little bit about that.
I always felt that I was seeking something that wasn't around me, wasn't in my environment. So I went looking. I went looking. I had an interesting experience at the age of 19. I had what my doctor said was the worst case of glandular fever on record. I nearly died. I nearly choked to death. Honestly, I didn't breathe. My life flashed before me. And I remember sitting there on the sofa, unable to move, while I was choking, observing this life that was flashing and thinking, that's not it. How is that it? That's not it. I need more than this. This is, Sue, don't die now. This is completely wrong. You've got to find every strength in you to try and choke, because I'm going to get this up and breathe. And I eventually did, during which time my mum and my sister went into the kitchen to get a knife to give me a tracheotomy, but as you can see, that didn't happen because I know. I found the strength somewhere and I coughed and I breathed again, and that changed me. It's funny, isn't it, how we're on a life path, we're doing whatever it is, and it's not necessarily the one. This was a huge, I was going to say a nudge. This wasn't a nudge. This was a you need to be looking at health and healing. So I've been the good girl. I went, yeah, okay. So I started studying healing. Every paradigm I could find, I was reading in my early 20s.
Which I think is a big trait of an old soul. We just want to learn everything.
Yeah, I wanted to, something was really missing. I didn't have the information I needed. So searching. When I was 25, I had my first homeopathic remedy, and that was for IBS, which got on bang. That was Nux vomica, for those of you interested. That changed my life as well. And then around that time, I started meeting people who were into meditation, and I've heard of meditation, I've heard of yoga. And I started going to some healing groups, and I learned Reiki, and then I started doing meditation with them. So I became a Reiki master very quickly. And all the meditation stuff. So the meditation weekends were where we opened up our channels to tune into the Ascended Masters. And I know that every time I see lime green and purple, that Katumi is around. Oh, that's what happened on Monday. So I remember lying on the floor at this weekend meditation next to this other girl who was very spiritual. And the two of us were channeling the same thing at the same time.
Wow.
So it was Katumi.
So it gave you that confirmation that
I knew
it's not
I
my
wasn't
imagination.
making it up.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a big thing that some people, because I know I channel. I know when I work with people, I go into a different zone and it literally just flows through me. But I wouldn't be able to say this is such and such.
Yeah.
And I think that we all can have the capacity.
Oh yeah.
It's just believing in ourselves and knowing that it's real and having that confirmation. Because otherwise people think we're crazy.
Oh, bonkers. Yeah, full on. Yeah, but I'm used to that. You know, I'm a homeopath. People think you're deluded, crazy, unscientific and mad. But no, my degree is in health. I was trained by medical doctors. This is a scientific paradigm. It's testable completely. Just because somebody else's paradigm doesn't understand our paradigm doesn't make us wrong. We're just different.
Yes, absolutely.
And I very firmly believe, after 20 years in practice, and I did believe this a long while ago, we do what works for our patients. Absolutely. And if homeopathy or whatever works for them, then do it. You know, if nutrition works for you, do it. If going to the doctor works for you, do it. It's so, that in itself, the placebo effect allegedly is worth 37% of any prescription. So whether you're seeing your doctor, whether it's going, I need 5 minutes of sunshine, the placebo
that's
means I will please.
That's definitely like my medicine, getting in that sunshine, feeling the sun on me, and it just takes me. It's to that place.
37% or whatever it is of that good feeling is the I will please effect. And how can that be made wrong? We should be maximising just that alone. Add that into the healing paradigm, not taking it away and making that wrong. Isn't that fascinating?
I remember we done the first ever interview I've done, which is actually on YouTube of me and you. I think it's only about 7 minutes long. I was like, I really enjoy these videos, and we done that. And you were sharing about how you was told with the glandular fever and the IBS that it couldn't be cured, and you was like, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
And you could have taken on that belief system of other people, but he's like, no, I don't believe that. So you then found an alternative way to heal yourself, and you use the homeopathic remedies. Is that when you then became a homeopath and studied in that?
Yeah, I went to university to study health when I was 30, but interesting what you say about the belief systems and just being shocked. Because when I was 19, the doctor said to me, there's no cure for this, because it's a virus. And I remember thinking, that is bonkers, how utterly ridiculous. How can that possibly be true? And that then shuts down any dialogue for potential to seek. And then I was told with IBS, there's no cure. And then that's exactly it. After I trained in homeopathy, my first son, gorgeous boy, 15 now, here he is, brand new baby, and I was thinking, this is the strangest baby I've ever seen. I've never known a baby like this. He's fabulous, but he's so difficult and so odd. And it turned out that he was diagnosed with really severe dyslexia when he was 6. And guess what? I was told there's no cure. You have to learn to live with it. And I remember thinking to myself 9 years ago, hang on a minute, there's a bit of a thread here with all this nonsense about there's no cure, you have to learn to live with it. Because that again will shut down the dialogue here. How about I just look? How about I just Google it? And I did, because I Googled by then. I didn't have Google in my 20s. And I discovered the whole world of neurodevelopment. The brain is plastic. You can change what's going on in the brain. And everyone was telling me, leave that child alone, there's nothing wrong with him. And I remember thinking, this child comes out of school suicidal. This child comes out of school hating life. This child is not happy. Oh, and I must go, I don't want to hurt your feelings and you know, not try and seek help for my child. God, I think a well-informed mother does better research than the CIA, unquote. So 3 days of Googling, I discovered neurodevelopment. That changed my life.
And it was a lady in India.
No.
This
America land.
Right. Okay.
Yes. She was a German Jew. She escaped Hitler when she was 14. She was now 82 and living in Oregon.
Okay.
Oh my God, what an earth angel, what a goddess. I love her.
So that was who you actually trained?
Yeah. She trained me for 5 years. Okay. But it was like a week and a half into discovering her and her sending me what I needed for my son that, it was like night and day, the difference in him. Wow. We got his eyes tracking and we got his pupils to stop contracting a bit so that he wasn't so light sensitive. It changed his life, just that alone. He was just different.
And that's what you're doing now with children all over the world.
Yeah.
You work in that thing, and I know that she died
4 years ago.
Well, yeah, and she sort of passed the flame to you to carry on this work, and you now trained people in doing this. So there's lots of people out there. If you yourself or you know anyone that's on the spectrum, it can be changed. Absolutely. So people, and I know with the big thing, like we were saying, we were having Katumi come through on Monday was amazing, and sort of reopen up your gifts, because when I see you, Sue, I see the gifts in you. I see you as this goddess who's so wise, and I'm sure when you're looking at Sue, you're thinking, wow, this woman, there's so much to her. But it is the fitting in, isn't it, with everything, and breaking the norm, because you're not what you'd imagine a health scientist to be. You're not in a suit. You're a bit of a rock chick, to be fair. You love your photography.
Total rock chick.
So I mean, people who feel like, I suppose, like with me, they think I should be all angelic, and I'm not. I'm just a normal person, and I've actually done a video that we're not here to be perfect. We're here to be us, and embracing all these aspects of yourself. But it's having these things that are in place, beliefs massively. It's a lot of belief work I've been doing personally for myself and with clients, which is just like on another level. And it is how we're perceiving ourselves and what's holding us back.
By the way, this is so weird. My hands are just chucking out energy right now. Like,
just send some love.
Whoa,
We just send some love
so funny.
through this video. So if you're there, just breathe in and receive it, because you are a Reiki master. You have all these skills and you have all this knowledge and all these. We're just so multifaceted, aren't we? Yeah. And I think this is the main thing for anybody watching, wherever you may be on your journey, because some people may look at you and go, wow, health scientists and all of these things, and I can't do any of that, but we're all different, we're all unique, we all have our own gifts and a way to share, and just by loving ourselves and accepting ourselves first. So I think this has probably been a big lesson.
Accepting
with
myself,
yourself.
Yeah, it's like, which one am I? But actually, I'm not a one. I'm a lot of things. I have many facets, and you've always said to me, which has been really comforting, that I'm an old soul. And I think actually, if I think about this seriously, I am a leader, and I've been going, no, don't follow me. I don't know where I'm going, but actually I do know where I'm going. I've just been really afraid of rejection and things that people can make you feel when you're not like them. You know, the blonde sheep of the family or the community, and all of the witchy type feeling and the persecution historically, because people like us probably have been persecuted historically. That's a really big thing. But we're leaders, aren't we?
And it is time to embrace our power, to embrace who we are, to get in a community of like-minded people. I know when we started the mastermind group, it must have been, Angel was a baby. It was before I had Evan, wasn't it? And we started a mastermind, and there was 3 of us originally, and there's now 6 of us in this really powerful group. And it is just having that belief in each other, and seeing in each other what we can't see in ourselves. And I know another thing that you can do is you can look into people's eyes and read past lives. And say, oh my gosh, Sarah, I'm getting all your past lives coming here.
And I see auras as well. I remember,
and dragons. Remember we've done dragons.
They're lovely. I remember saying to my mum when I was a little girl, you know, about the light round people. And she just freaked her out. And she could do it too, but she wasn't allowing it in herself. So she didn't really want to allow that in me because it's weird. But I've kind of been enjoying that a lot. I love to see the aura in people. It gives you so much more richness. And also, you don't know this probably. I've studied Oriental facial diagnosis, so I can look at people and you can see what their health issues are without even saying. So if somebody comes in the clinic, I've got a right heads up right before we even start anything.
Oh, well, you can do that when you're later, so I'll have that done. So I love this about you, because I know when we actually had a mastermind, and it was all about dragons. I just discovered dragons. I'd done a blog post. I emailed everybody about it at the time, and then you go, oh my gosh, and you could see dragons, all about dragons. Yeah. You could see my dragon you described, and I was like, I was in awe, because it's not one of my gifts to see. In that way, like you do.
I've always been a seer, but I think that some of that might be to do with Erland syndrome. I have Erland syndrome, which is extreme light sensitivity, and also I can hear dog whistles, and you know. Oh yeah, didn't I tell you that? Yeah. You know those noises they put in shopping centres to keep the teenagers out. Oh, me and my lads, we can all hear that. So
really?
I'm so hypersensitive.
Well, I know when you picked up a pack of cards on Monday, you're like, oh my gosh, and the reaction to it. Yeah. And I think it's good because there's so many earth angels who are so empathic and they're so highly sensitive. What would you share with them, Sue?
Intuition is such a true guide, and reconnecting. I think like those incidences when I was a kid with my mum about you auras don't exist or whatever. If we then as a child decide that we disconnect ourselves from all of that energy and all of that power, that's a shame. So it's about reconnecting with the intuition, reconnecting with our power, and reconnecting with just who we are. And it doesn't make us wrong, and it doesn't make us bad. It's just who we are. Yeah, I've always been.
But it feels like you've had this massive opening. I know Monday was quite a profound day and quite a shift, because it is difficult, and there are so many earth angels that have gifts as children, and they're shutting them down. Or they're starting to open now. This is the year; it's opening for everyone. So if you're having anything like that, get in touch, because you are not on your own. There's a whole community of earth angels that we have on Facebook, just to connect, so that we're not different and we're not weird. I think, to be honest, weird is a new normal. I always think that I'm crazy in a little bit, in one sense, and that's a good thing. I like being different. I don't want to be like a normal person. I love being who I am.
Muggles? Muggles? Who wants to be a muggle?
I hope I'm sure there's no muggles watching. Some people might think that's offensive, but we think different. But we are different.
If you just use that word and apply that to what we do, it's like a muggle isn't wrong. It's just that they're not connected necessarily to subtle energy. I'm very connected to subtle energy, both through feeling it, seeing it, hearing it, sensing it on whatever level. So yes, and so you're saying about being weird. So if being weird is the word we use for having a connection with subtle energy. Then let's all bring on the weird.
Let's embrace it.
Yeah, I love it.
But I would just want to touch, like you should, Sue, because I know personally for myself, and I know personally for you, that it's not easy.
No.
We know how hard it is. We've both got to the point where we think, just want to go home. Just want to go home.
Oh yeah.
And we've got to the point where you just you feel so suicidal.
Yeah.
And not there's something I'd ever act on, because we have a family, but we've been there.
Yeah.
We've been there, and it's bloody hard.
Yeah,
we're in that state. And I think people can look at other people. You may look at us here and think, oh my gosh, you're doing it on purpose. You're, whatever you think of us. But we are just normal people.
Yeah.
We have ups and downs the same as everybody else. We've had those really dark nights of the soul when we thought, you know what, I just want to leave.
Yeah.
It's too hard, because it is very oppressive with the energy of the planet and trying to fit in and trying to be normal. We aren't here to be normal. We're here to shine our light. We're here to do what brings us joy and makes us feel good.
Yeah.
And you found that with helping children.
Yeah.
It's just integrating in all different areas of your life. So I know it's obviously only Monday, we're only 2 days later, that you started channeling Dietary again for the first time in God knows how many years.
Welcome back.
And what's happened since then? Has that been like a big change in your life?
Yeah, well, I had a session with the wonderful Jonathan Shaw on Sunday evening.
One of our mastermind members.
Yeah, I have regular sessions with him because he's helping me clear some of my blocks and doing all the things, some of the beliefs I don't need that I've been carrying. What was so funny was that on Sunday we cleared a belief that I was weird, because it's funny how that word is coming up in this conversation. And then on Monday, we had I started channeling Katumi again. And the first first thing he said to me, because he's a bit of a laugh, I have to say, he likes a laugh and he's very jolly. The first thing he said to me was, "This is the voice of the Misterons." Oh, okay. And then he told me that I was being way too serious and need to lighten up more. So yeah, let's do that. But then, yeah, getting in touch with that, it was just awesome, actually. I really loved it. And, you know, once again, thank you, Jonathan, for being on the team.
Jonathan Shaw, I've interviewed Jonathan. He does a decode and pain library in the Sanctuary, which is absolutely amazing.
It is amazing.
He's going to be sharing an amazing new technique with the world, which I've trained in myself, and I work with Jonathan myself. He's my go-to man. He's your go-to man. No matter what we do, we still work on ourselves. You've probably heard of like the top people like Anthony Robbins. They have coaches.
Oh yeah, you need
anyone who I think does this work is having that support and having that community that helps you grow. Because I don't know where I would be now if I didn't have the support of you, Sue, and for the years when we've done this mastermind. Because
do you know what image comes to mind when you say that? It's like we're standing on the beach. And we know we're standing by the White Cliffs of Dover. We're trying to get over to Calais in our boat. We know where we want to go. We know what we want to do. We have our boat and we're going across there. But the wind is blowing and it's winter and the wind is coming. It's taking us so off course. But with the strength of each other, we keep reminding ourselves, no, you're trying to get to Calais. You're trying to get to Calais. You're trying to get to Calais. We help each other, pull each other back on course, and we help each other in each other's boats, and we just get there. And we, you know, some days it's sunny, but you know, some days it's dark and rainy. But the calibration and the direction we get from each other with the keeping us on track is massively important. And the message from that is that a support network is absolutely crucial. So whether it's listening to what I was doing back in the autumn, was going through weeks and weeks and weeks of just listening to Abraham Hicks.
Oh, I love
just
Abraham.
Fantastic. And then I was doing all the Anthony Robbins and the Wayne diet. I just absolutely immersed myself in that. And I'm a big one of immersion. I love to just overdose on everything like that. I find it really, 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 really helps. And when we immerse ourselves in each other, in our mastermind group, in each other's skills and whatever we're doing, it's so massively important.
I think
not on our own.
No, I think it's also finding out the right teachers. I mean, I absolutely love Abraham. I've read his books for years, and I got massively into Abraham last year when I realised that my power was actually incredibly low. Well, I felt good. I generate my own energy.
Yeah.
When I actually had a life consultation, I think it was called now, my power was on 4%. I'm like, why is that? Because I'm just giving it out everywhere willingly, and I was bringing it back to me. And it was like, okay, this is the next thing for me to learn personally. It's about bringing it back into ourselves, looking at what beliefs we have about ourselves, and know the belief work. With you, Sue, you are amazing. You are crazy and a rock chick, but you are so intelligent. You have so much information. You have so much wisdom. You have so much to share and so many gifts. And you've already helped hundreds of children all over the world with the work you're doing in rewiring the brain, which is through movement. Which brings me to another thing. I know it's been great to see the development of a thing called Neuroflow.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, it's just brilliant, you know, to evolve something or to sophisticate something. So let me give you listeners here a heads up on what neurodevelopment is, which preempts that. The brain learns through movement. So all those movements that a fetus does in utero, breakdancing, and all the prepares them for birth to push themselves out. And then all the putting your head up and rolling over.
I remember you saying this to me when Evan was a little baby, because she took a couple of photographs of him when he was a little Superman suit, wasn't it? And it was like how important it is to lay babies on their front so they can push the head up, because it does. You think it's strengthening the muscles, but it actually is doing things in their brain.
Yeah, what it's doing, for example, because this is where Neuroflow springs from. This is really interesting. So if you're a baby and you're lying on the floor, your head's that way. This eye is focusing here, and this eye is focusing further away, and then you change your head, and this eye is focusing here, and this eye is focusing further away. That movement that you're doing, it's teaching your brain that your eyes are different, they're not the same. So that helps build in more three-dimensional vision for later on. Whereas if you're lying on your back and all you can see is and a fair bit of distance, your eyes don't necessarily get the 3D calibration. And this is what we're seeing a lot of in the clinic.
I see. So is this where babies have just been kept like that and they're not being able to actually go on their fronts? And
If you think about, if you think about any other mammal in there, whether you're talking horses, elephants, moles, voles, bunnies, any mammal that's out there, How are they? They're on their front from the minute they're born. They are always on their front. They're never lying on their back.
You see sometimes with babies that are just sort of strapped in.
Yeah.
And they just stay like that and they're not moved, are they? And
so they're not getting the movement that their eyes need. They're not getting the movement or the strength. And then when you roll over, you're getting a bit more sophisticated. You're pushing up. This is all about inhibition, reflex inhibition. Okay, so all of the reflexes that we're born with are involuntary. They work on a cascade of hierarchical development, and they have to be inhibited to create the next cascade of development.
So if you skip one step, so for example, if a baby was just stuck like that and they never actually was put on their front to lift their head and to calibrate their eyes, that actually then delays other actions.
Yeah. So well, not only delays it, it may never happen. Let's take an extreme. Let's go to those Romanian orphans who were strapped to their cots and 10 years old. Do you remember that? Was out on the news about 10-15 years ago.
I don't watch the news.
No. So 10-15 years ago, a news story broke that Romanian orphans were discovered in this orphanage, and they were strapped to their cots, and they were as if newborn. They had no language. They were incontinent. They had no ability to stand or anything, and so their brains were stuck as newborns. If you look at there's a drawing I've got which will show my students when I teach them, is the number of nerve pathways there are in the brain at birth, and there's like a few strands, and then the same brain at 2 years old, there's a scribble everywhere, all cross wiring. So their brains were still as newborns, they hadn't been developed, and because the brain is learning through physical movement. So
because they hadn't been allowed to move, their brain had stayed as a newborn.
Yeah, effectively. Oh, I know, it's painful to even talk about. Can you imagine how? It's just terrible. So movement. If you had the time, the patience, you could get their brain to come probably a bit up to scratch. I don't know how much you could do, because the brain is plastic, so a lot of hard work. So they're effectively still as newborns. But that's what we're doing in the clinic, is rewiring the brain through movement. And I've been doing that for 9 years. Now, 3 years ago, I met another man in our mastermind group, the wonderful Michael Addison. And I was teaching Michael about the movements between us, using my neurodevelopment knowledge and his fitness instructor knowledge. He went away and played with my neurodevelopment exercises, came back and ran something past me, and he connected them together and created the first flow. And so was born Neuroflow, which is a really fantastic hybrid of his work and mine. And this is what we're now.
So it's exercises and movements that actually rewires your brain.
Yes, it does.
So what are the benefits of people doing that?
Well, if you think about old people, grandparents who's sitting around a lot and say they haven't walked very much lately, or somebody who's broken their hip, or it's just an elderly person, just to put you in that mindset of that. When they get a bit better and they get up to walk across the room and their balance is gone and they fall over, it's because the brain is economic. There's a thing called selective apoptosis, and that is selective cell death. If you don't use a part of your brain thinks, oh, I don't need that, I'll get rid of it. And so it's simply use it or lose it. If you're not using your brain, it'll be culled. So apply that to the aging brain, or even my brain. I'm 50 now, I want to maintain what I've got physically and mentally for like ever. So how am I going to do that? Well, use it. So if you use the neurodevelopment exercises now, then I can maintain my cross wiring from one hemisphere to the other. Think about it. If you want to add two numbers together, just say that many things and that many things, you want to add them together. That information changes hemisphere. Guess how many times? 9 times.
Wow.
Yeah. So if the hemisphere connection of the corpus callosum is not working properly, your information falls off a cliff, and so you can't process. Oh, you can't remember this. I can't process this. I've got what was that? You're not processing it. So
is that why some people, their brains go then, that they lose their memory?
Yeah, a bit, yeah. Oh, wow. Some of that will be, yeah. Yeah, because the corpus callosum isn't connecting things across.
So I suppose when you have like people that do like loads of crosswords and they're using their brains and stuff like that, that's
good for the brain, but what really keeps it well is the movement. So what we're doing in Neuroflow is repeating the neurodevelopment stuff we're doing with the little kids to maintain our joint mobility, our muscle strength, our muscle tone. Look, no flab there, and my brain is reasonably sharp most of the time, and so we can maintain that by using the correct movement. We call it knowledgeable intervention. So with the correct knowledgeable intervention, you can maintain a healthy brain into old age. You can maintain a healthy body into old age, and you can maintain your intellect. I have recently treated a patient, 57 years old, being diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Her memory, she couldn't drive anymore. She didn't know what anything was called. She didn't know what taps were for. She couldn't work out door handles. Can you imagine at 57?
That's quite young, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. But I've been treating her with neurodevelopment, with homeopathy, with nutrition. We got her better.
Wow.
She is driving. She is functioning fine. The only slight, and this is in 7 months, the only slight thing that she hasn't quite got back yet is all her memory for people, what their names are. But other than that, I know, isn't that incredible?
Because that is, I'm just blown away.
It's
I didn't know that,
mind-blowing.
Yeah. I think just the work you are doing, Sue, is just phenomenal. And when you first telling me about it, I'm a big picture person that I am, can see you're going to help so many people all over the world, and you have continued. It's been a journey, as it has been for myself and for everyone else. It's always a journey around learning their growth, and I think now that it's accepting that the multifacetedness of you with the channeling and getting you in your power, because I think it's probably held you back a little bit in a while, feeling not being fully to be you, but you are a rock chick. You are a neuroscientist and developmentalist and have all this amazing, and it's just being you.
Yeah. And I'm a photographer.
Yes.
I do really creative photos. They're on Etsy.
She loves selfie. She loves selfie.
I like image. And can I tell you about the nutrition? You know that patient I was telling you about with the nutrition?
Yeah.
This isn't just, your sausages and beans style nutrition. This is superfoods. And I was inspired by her to write this book, Eat for Your Brain. Honestly, it was that one patient that inspired me to write that.
So this is not like, it's not a book that's going to give you recipes or anything.
No.
So this is like quite a scientifically,
it's completely scientific,
that explains what the condition is.
Yeah.
And what superfood you need to help with that. And then you've got all your references and everything to go along with that.
There's 65 pages of references in there. This is 100% science. But what I like about this is there's symptoms. You look up the symptoms and find out what superfoods you need, and then you read about them. That is what did it. So I was around her house thinking, what am I going to give this woman? I know she needs some superfoods. I don't know what she needs. And I went home and I wrote this book. What I think made a huge difference with her, aside from the neuro stuff, which rebuilt her brain, the homeopathy, which was detoxing, but was one ingredient, cracked chlorella, because it chelates out heavy metals.
What does that mean?
Well, we have so many toxins in our bodies now. There's aluminium in deodorant, and people cook with aluminium pans, and there's aluminium foil, and there's aluminium and mercury in jabs they give you, and there's all sorts of poisons and that we pick up over a lifetime. And what those heavy metals do is they block nerve pathways. They take the place. So the analogy I use in my book is, here we have a farmer, and he's got a row of houses for his farm workers, and all these farm workers are really trained in farming, and they go out and they look after the crops, and then they get them, they bring them in, and they feed each other, and they feed the family, and they feed the village. What heavy metals do is they move into those houses and they chuck the farmers off the land. They go, we're living here, you can't come in. So that means that the crops don't get grown and nobody gets fed, right? So heavy metals need to be out of the body, and cracked chlorella does that.
It clears all heavy metals?
Yeah, it clears everything.
Wow.
It clears out, I've researched it like you wouldn't believe, all heavy metals.
I bet you have, knowing what you're like.
Oh,
it's like,
man,
got to know everything and learn everything around it.
Yeah, I needed to know. I needed to know everything. I researched it like you wouldn't believe. And yes, and I'm sure that made a massive difference. So getting out the heavy metals out of her body. Oh, God, look at it.
Yeah, this is one of Sue's things. The hair stand up on her arms.
Yeah, you won't be able to see that from there.
You may have that. Quite a lot of her friends that spoke to, I don't personally have it. I just get the rushes up my body.
Yeah.
But quite a lot of our friends, they say something, they go, oh, goosebumps. And that is for you when you know something that is truth. So if you're watching this and you get that, that's your sign.
Calibrations, and we know that that's true. We know that the cracked chlorella made a colossal difference to that patient. Wow, look, bang again. Yeah. So, and then that enabled her brain to start to heal and repair and get her neuro back.
This feels like it's going to give so much to children, to adults, to the elderly, to the whole spectrum of people, just with learning this and knowing this work. And And I know that there is going to be things in the future to get NeuroFlow out there in a bigger way. You're still in the pilot stage of it at the moment. And you just amaze me, Sarah. So your knowledge, you could just talk for hours and hours and hours, because there's just so much to you. And if you love Sue, she's crazy, isn't she? Just like me. If you love bit of an extrovert as well there. But you're not straight laced in a suit, blah, blah, blah. You're fun, you're hip, you've got so much knowledge, but you're such a likable person, so a bit crazy on the edges
Thank
too.
You.
And it's like we're breaking the norm of the scientist, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which I think has probably been part of the journey for you, because people maybe don't take you seriously, or because you're different and they don't get us, and that's obviously all reflection.
One of the things about me is that if I actually do ever express an opinion, believe you me, I've sat in a university library and researched it for months on end, because for me to make an opinion is such a colossal risk that I have to know that I'm speaking truth that I can back up.
With scientific evidence.
There's nothing worse than rejection and being told you're wrong. And I believe me, I get that a lot even now with my knowledge, and I get told I'm wrong.
But
stuff.
the truth is,
I'm actually not. I know.
Some people are just not open to it. Some people are going to probably watch this, and if they're still watching now, I'll be quite surprised and be like, look at you. I've had two old hens once. I was cool. If it was Michelle Gordon when we done, look at you, two old hens. And people are just going to think, what a load of rubbish to be spouting. And that's, well, they wouldn't be watching this far, I wouldn't have thought. And that's okay, because some people are not ready to hear this kind of information now. And other people are more open, and they're going to be curious. So if anyone's curious, Sue, and they'd like to find out more about you, what's your website?
It's Brain Buzz, BrainBuzz 3.
So it's 3 Zs. Is it .com?
.co.uk.
And let me just grab this book again. So you've got Eat for Your Brain, which is on Amazon. Find the right superfoods to heal your symptoms.
And Nutrition for Special Needs,
which is another book that you've done. And is that for children?
This book is based on, because my father had ADHD and my son had dyslexia and I was dyscalculate. This book is based on 40 years of experience of dealing with food issues. This is science. I've co-written it with a nutritionist, so it's not just me, making stuff up. It's science. This is how to sort out your family's health issues with food, regardless of whether they've got spectrum issues. This is a great handbook. It's well annotated. Look, you've got little headlines everywhere, so you can really find it. Because I'm being dyscalculate, there are no page numbers. But it is well annotated at the front, so you can find things easily there. Great handbook for helping your family with food. This one is on superfoods. Superfoods are nutritionally dense foods. So would you rather eat 7 tables of food, or would you rather have a bunch of superfoods in a drink that you can blend up that's that big? I'd rather have that. And it suits me so much better.
I suppose the biggest thing, and this is something that personally comes to me, where do I get it from?
Well, I go to Tesco sometimes if I do that, and I get myself a bag of kale, bung it in the freezer, break it all up small, ditto with my rocket. And most mornings I'll have a lemon, I'll have a big handful of kale, rocket, all in the blender, some barley grass, some wheatgrass, so I might have some matcha in there, and I might have a stick of celery.
So where do you get all of those other things?
The matcha you can get from your Whole Food shop. I can give you a link to some of the superfoods I do. If you go to myplatinumgift.com and fill it all in, type in the code word BrainBuzz, one word, 3 Zs, then you can get access to the superfoods I've talked about, the cracked chlorella and so on. And there's an naturopath on there.
We'll have to put the link on to that.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can get, so the superfoods I buy come from Germany, and I'm doing a cleanse again at the moment, so I'm on lots and lots of amazing superfoods.
What are the benefits for you from doing it?
Well, because I'm so sensitive. We knew that. I cannot seem to tolerate grains. I'm not allergic. I'm not even really intolerant, but they bloat me out. Don't like it. So I don't do grains, and I seem to do really well on green vegetables. I don't seem to do well on any sugar. I can actually tolerate chicken and salmon and some fish quite well. I can't go near.
So I would have thought you'd be vegetarian.
I was vegan for years.
You was vegan.
I was vegan for years. I was vegetarian for years. I felt like rubbish. did not suit me. I have a massive need for protein. I've actually got a huge appetite, and I've written books on nutrition. I do know about this stuff. Oh God, no, vegan didn't suit me. I mean, in my brain, I'm a vegan.
Yeah.
In my body, that's another story. And that's been a really hard battle for me.
Because that's a question that I had from someone. Said, "Oh, you're so spiritual, Sarah. I really want to know, are you vegan or vegetarian?" I was like, "Well, no, I'm not." And I thought, "Oh, you know, what does it mean about me?" But it's very interesting because you'd think, talking to you, that's I suppose it's an assumption that people might make. But it's really interesting that it didn't work for you, and we are all different. So some things that work for us don't work for everyone.
No, like I said at the beginning, whatever you're doing, make sure it works for you. And sometimes it can take years of experimentation. Because I've known that grains are bad, but it's only really in the last year or so that I've actually stopped them again totally. Because of course, when I was vegan, I couldn't do that. I needed the grain. I could bloody eat something. And but no, it don't suit me. So I do really well on a really high protein diet, and I do well on vegetables, and
your superfood
makes me happy. I feel good.
And it's I think when we're feeling good, our vibration is high. We have the clarity come through, because when we're feeling good, we're up here on our emotional scale, and that's where all the clarity comes through, all the ideas, everything comes through, and life is up and
frontal
down.
lobe, all the ideas are in the frontal lobe.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. Talk to Joe Dispenza about that. Some of his books. Yeah.
It's just great. It's great that you feel so good. It's great to see you and grow in the. I mean, I thought you was amazing when I first met you, and I remember you said the same about me. Oh, I can't believe I'm with you, and I'm like, well, what about I can't believe I'm with you, Sue, and see the greatness in you. But you didn't see it then.
No, I did not.
But you're seeing it more now.
I do,
and I love that. I love the fact you're more in your power.
Yes.
But you've got a story. It hasn't been easy. I know we've had some dark times. And I think it's just to really give everyone hope, no matter where you are, that it is part of that learning, that growing. There is community out there. If anything Sue said resonates, you get in touch with Sue at brainbuzz3zeds.co.uk. She's on Facebook. You love all the rock chick pictures that you got on there as well, and your pages on there.
Well, it's part of me. I do a bit of modelling every now and again for people, and why not? You know, why there? Bloody hell not.
No, I love it.
Just, like Katumi said to me on Monday, just get in touch with your
and
fun.
Take a chill pill, Sue. I think I remember him saying,
wasn't that so funny?
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically, it reminded me, it was about putting the joy back in. I think we can get very, very focused on the wrong stuff, about being serious, about...
Well, it's quite like here, isn't it? If you're like, got to be very serious.
It's all the grown-ups, child. Hello. But actually, I remember seeing some footage of, I can't remember if it was, it was Sai Baba, and he's just sitting there giggling. And, you know, he's not worried about any of the sad things. And I remember thinking, but he should be so serious. He should be worried about all the sad things that are going on in the world. But I thought, okay, so let's look at that. Of course he cares about the sad things that are going on in the world. But by embracing the laughter and all of that, and bringing the peace and the joy, his vibration is high, and he can pull us into that. And there's a lesson.
Absolutely. And this is something, when I was triggered, I shared it with the Sanctuary members on a group call that we done a couple of, last month, I think it was. And it was something that I watched on Facebook that triggered me. Something very, something to do with animals, and it really triggered me. And I don't normally watch the news. I don't get pulled into any of those stuff that I see. Because it shocks us, and it can, you know, we go into fear, and we go into worry, and we go into feeling powerless. And I watched this video, and the sadness, the pain, I felt it. We're highly sensitive. We feel all of this. And I was like, okay, this is really interesting. What am I feeling? I felt powerless because I couldn't physically do anything about this. And I thought, is this serving me? No. Because the one thing I can do something about is by getting into a state of love. And then I'm in my power, and it is that ripple effect, and I can make small little changes in my life. And although the things are still going on, it's how we are perceiving them. So it's not that we don't care, because it's because we care so much. We stay in a higher vibration of love to send that out, because it is changing. And we had an amazing, let's just share this, Sue, because this is phenomenal. We had one of our other mastermind members, Ruth, who's absolutely gorgeous goddess as well. She's doing animal communication. We was talking about animal communication and what she got from the course, and the messages that come from the whales and the dolphins and the lions. And it was love, love, love from the animal kingdom, just love. And we were saying, and I shared with you about when I was listening to Eye of the Tiger, if you know the song, it's in the Rocky films. And I can remember as a kid in the car, my dad was driving down the road, and I remember in front of me, I remember the road and singing Eye of the Tiger. So me and Angel was listening to it, and she was having stuff going. And when I went up in spirit, I had all the lions come to me, and I'm not lions, sorry, tigers. And I was hugging them. I've always wanted to hug a tiger. Oh, yeah. And they were hands, feet, paws on my shoulders, and I was hugging them, and I was laying there, and I was like, oh wow. And it felt like all the tigers on the planet were then protected. And I said to you, the tigers have ascended. And what happened? You got all your
bang! I got a rush, and the message to me was all of the animals that have gone extinct have ascended.
They've ascended. That's our theory on that. 4444 it just said as I just looked at that.
Oh wow!
That is our theory on that. That's what I believe. That's what you believe. We, it has gone a little bit off tangent talking about us talking now about animals, but that is the time and space that we are in on this planet.
It's about connectedness, isn't it? Mm. It's about why hadn't I ever thought that the animals that were becoming extinct weren't ascending?
Well, this was a big thing that come to you because of that course you're talking, and that's when you was able to get in touch with your animals past in spirit, and it was like massive, like, oh my gosh, I've been blocking this, and I'm like, well, yeah, you used to tell me you used to channel Katemi. What can you channel him now? And that's when boom,
we did it.
He comes straight, and you said, well, I usually see purple and lime, Matt, purple and lime, and Matt. You went to those purple and lime. It's like ding 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 ding. Hello, Sue. We're ready and waiting for you. Yeah. Welcome back.
It's the message.
So it's just so awesome that so much is opening up. There's so much to you. You're doing such good work in the world. I know it's just going to continue and flow. And I love your book. And I love the work that you're doing. I love you. You're crazy just like me. I love the fact that you love hanging out in rock concerts and in your leather and, and the multifacetedness of you, that you're just not, I'm a scientist, sitting like this sort of thing, you're just gorgeous, crazy, beautiful, abundant, fantastic. So it's been awesome sharing you with everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this.
Well, we've had fun.
We've had fun. And and I hope Sue's inspired you with some of what she shared about herself, because it hasn't always been easy. You have always been highly sensitive, and highly sensitive. I'm highly sensitive, but you are.
Look at that pack of cards I picked up on Monday.
I know. You just woof, oh my gosh. I'm not as sensitive as that. But there are others that are obviously just as highly sensitive as you in that way. And it's listen to your intuition. If you feel alone, if you feel unsupported, there's a worldwide Earth Angels group on Facebook, which is Earth Angels Worldwide.
There's always someone awake.
There's always someone awake.
Message.
There's the Earth Angel Sanctuary if you'd like a bit more deeper help. Where we just help with so many different things, live group calls, so much support there. It's where I can be there more for people. Contact Sue if her books are all on Amazon, and obviously your website, which is brainbuzz.co.uk.
Yeah, and on Amazon, if you look up Brain Buzz, you get to all my books. Or you can find Eat for Your Brain more easily by Sue Cook as well.
Yeah, and if you'd like to get in touch with that training with you, because you obviously trained Neurodevelopmentalist.
Yeah, but also now we're training new people to do the Neuro flow, which I'm so excited about.
Wow, and the pilot's been amazing.
Yeah, it has. Oh my goodness.
So there's just so much. If anything, you think, oh, I'm curious about that. I'd like to know more.
Yeah.
Or just want to connect with Sue.
Yeah.
Just find her on Facebook, connect through her websites. It's a pleasure to know you, Sue.
Oh,
you're a dear friend of mine. And I love all the fun that we have and all the crazy downloads that we have and all the amazing work that we do together. And thank you for everything that you've done in the world. Thank you for everything that you've just been there for me as a friend and as a support. We really hope you've enjoyed this interview.
And thank you, because when I met you, I thought nobody as lovely as you would ever want to be my friend. Oh. And I remember you were totally shocked when you heard that.
Yeah.
I thought, oh my God, no. And I couldn't actually believe that you wanted to be my friend, and that was 6 years ago. And one of the things that's is constantly transformational for me personally is that you believe in me and you love me as your friend and you see all the good in me all the time. And normally it's me. I'm
I
always
see
doing good in
all the
other
craziness
people.
as well, but I accept you also.
But you don't not like that bit, do you?
No, I love that bit.
Exactly.
It's like that non-judgmental and just the accepting all of you.
Yeah.
We all have bad days. We all have times when we make mistakes. We'll do,
Yeah.
we all multify, and it's just the acceptance of all of you, because by holding that space for you allows you to accept all of you.
It does, and it's been awesome, and I'm so grateful to you for doing all the work you do with Earth Angels and the people I've been able to introduce who are Earth Angels to you that you have helped as a result.
Well, you've recognised them now as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, like Adrienne who came round on Saturday. I said to her, "You're an Earth Angel." She went, "What is an Earth Angel?" And then she went and looked it up, connected with you, and it was life changing for her.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're both doing good work, but it's a pleasure. It's an honour, and I know we'll be friends forever.
Oh yeah.
And so really hope you've enjoyed us chatting away and sharing all about Sue. So find out more about Sue if you'd like to. Until next time, sending you lots and lots of love.
Yes. Love from Essex. Yes. From two blonde Essex girls. Setting new standards for Essex girls.
Something like that. Anyway, take care, everyone. Lots of love. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Bye.